Welcome. Let's play Rule the Waves 2 as France, starting in 1920. This is episode 31. And this time, going to build a battleship. Who doesn't love a little bit of battleship building? I've had a little play, and I'd like you to have a little look at the Verite here. So 60,000 tons, 12 16-inch quality 1 guns. Other guns are available, 17 and 18-inch quality 0, 20-inch quality -1, but actually the 16-inch quality 1 is as good and obviously substantially less weight. 28 knots, 14-inch belt, 16-inch deck, 4 torpedo defense, so as well protected as it's going to get. Reasonable anti-aircraft fit, particularly with dual-purpose 5-inch guns. A few tweaks still to do around inclined armour and unit machinery and things like that, but as a starter, it all seemed really promising and attractive, if, of course, hair-raisingly expensive at $211,585. But there's a problem. Actually, there are several problems. All of these are a bit of difficulty. They can't all exist in the same ship simultaneously. Now, some of you may say, oh, well, Dickie, if you hadn't been so smart and built up your dockside, then you wouldn't be having this problem. So here are the various countries where I could build it. Notably, I couldn't build it in the Soviet Union. Tensions must be too high, but I could build it obviously in France or Germany, Britain, Italy, Japan, or the USA. However, France is a no-no because my dock size is only 38,000. Paltry. Torpedo defense is a no-no in Germany and Britain because, weirdly, they can only do level 3 defense at the moment. In fire control, everybody has advanced except for Italy, slightly randomly. In anti-aircraft directors, Japan hasn't developed them yet. In dual-purpose guns, everybody has 3 or 4-inch, except the Japanese, who have it but only in tertiary guns. The others have it in secondary guns. And the Americans have a bewildering choice of 3, 4, 5, even 6-inch dual-purpose guns. The weight remaining between these for the same design obviously varies a bit. The two big variances are with the torpedo defense. The time to build is sort of similar, but Britain sneaks in with only 30 months, whereas Italy is at 36. And of course, our tensions are at different levels. So obviously not applicable for us, and Germany, rock solid alliance, thank you very much. Britain is at 3. Italy is at 4. Japan, weirdly, is at 1, and America is at 4. So I can't build it in France because our docks are too small. I can't build it in Germany or in Britain because the torpedo defense is too weak. And having built it, I can't increase it. I'm reluctant to build it in Italy because our tensions are too high and the build time is long. I could build it in Japan and then go and refit the dual-purpose guns and the weight remaining, but I'd have to equip it with secondary guns that weren't dual-purpose, and it just feels like a mess. And then finally, with America, tensions are too high again to really trust that they won't just steal it when tensions increase. So, best laid plans of mice and men, this would have been a great ship, and possibly soon I will be able to do a great ship when one of these countries sorts out its technology level. But for now, I'll have a pass on a battleship, which is a great shame because it's 1936. I'd love to have it by 1939. It means I may have to save up money and build 2 simultaneously. I could go back and look at the Redoutable and rebuild the second one of them. That's certainly a very viable option. Or I could not build a battleship or rebuild one and look to the future and go and have a little look at a nice carrier. So here we have an adaptation of the Soulcraft, which itself is an adaptation of the Panleve, very much just a little bit of incremental improvements around the 70 aeroplane carrier. This seems like a pretty reasonable carrier to build. Yes, I can build them up to 100, but then strike force just gets more concentrated into fewer decks. So 75, call it 76,000 is a pretty reasonable bit. I've upgraded the flight deck with a deck park and edge lifts. I would love to install catapults, but I don't seem to have discovered them. And 70 aeroplanes. AA armament chunked up to the full 115, including 58 heavy with 4-inch and 3-inch. Got a little bit of weight remaining, and I'd like to be able to punch these up to 5-inch dual purpose when they become available. This is the maximum outfit of primary and secondary guns I can manage without incurring a rate of fire penalty. Very light armour, almost non-existent, but an excellent torpedo defence, and it's happy with all of that, and if the game's happy, then I'm happy. Let's just save that, and it'll only take a month, which is excellent. So thinking about the level of intelligence I have on what everyone else is doing, given the Battleship fiasco, I'm going to increase up to medium my interest in America and Britain, low for Italy and Japan, not interested in the Soviet Union, and Germany, no, I'm not interested in them. Just check the almanac just to see where they are. So we're behind, as is Germany, as is the Soviet Union. Britain's advanced, despite some of the gaps in its knowledge. Italy is average, Japan is behind, and America is advanced. But I take this to mean, because before Britain and America were very advanced, that you're actually only talking about 1 or 2 tech developments in the lead. And inconsistently, so in the lead in some areas, not in the lead in behind, as you might want to call it. Right, I think we're good to plough on into August. Oh, well, there we are. Let's see the ocean. 30 knots, 40,000. That's what you get for a little bit more intelligence effort. All forward 16-inch guns. 16 5-inch guns, but not dual purpose, although eventually they will discover that. A pretty anemic anti-aircraft defense. 12-inch belts, 12.5, and 5-inch deck. Okay, it's pretty good. I suppose the only area of concern is pushing it up to 30 knots, whereas we've maintained a consistent 28 knots. Armour development. Well, thank you very much. Every little bit helps. Of course, not all intelligence can be trusted. The CVL Bedford has an armour belt of 13 inches. I don't think so. Or at least if it did, that would be very odd. Okay, the Roan is ready, so let's just crack on with one of those. Go. Still leaves us in a little positive, which will build up our funds. We're at 445,000, so pretty good compared to where we were at the start of the previous year when we were about 350,000. That's British want to sell us some stuff on our. Well, yes. I mean, I'm tempted to say no, but if it makes the Brits happier, that would be money well spent. I'm not sure if there is a relationship between things like this Be interesting to see if our tension 3 went down to tension 2 since we're being chums and exchanging technology. -1 17-inch guns. Pro-Italian coup in Albania. Well, I suppose that gives me a invasion target, so that's good for that. All our little airbase expansions have finished, so that's given us a bit more money. Let's just go to the base overview and see if any of those need to be increased again. Just a few. That's all of them up at 60, which is my current max. Am I missing any? So there. Yep, that's as much as I can do in the South Pacific. Then in Southeast Asia, there. Yep, that's as much as there. Djibouti is fine. Diego Suarez is building, so that's my 2 Indian Ocean ones. I've got a few places in Africa that I could build up, which I'm not do. And then anywhere, yeah, everywhere in the Mediterranean. Aside from these 3 in Algeria, I could, but I'm not sure that. All right, I will. It's reminded me, if I can finish the sentence, that actually I've had a few engagements with Italy around the Balearic Isles in the Western Mediterranean, so actually some air bases around there is fine. Ships under construction. So 7 months before the first of our new cruisers comes along. Okay. They would like, yes, best alliance ever. Certainly want to extend our security arrangement with error message. And the aircraft carriers finished working up. So the old sailing regatta to improve tensions. So yeah, it'll increase our prestige, take the tensions away. Since they're pretty low anyhow, I'm noticing the British actually have gone to 2, so that would imply that having arms trade will improve relations with the country. And also Japan's gone to 0, so that's great. So yeah, let's do that. Another research. This has been a good year for research. Yeah, Britain's gone down to 1 now, which is excellent. So the regatta did cost a bit of money. I was at 44,000 last time, but interesting. I've just checked these countries to see whether any of the defects in their torpedo defense or anti-aircraft armament have improved, and the answer is no. Italians would like to buy. Yeah, let's sell them something. Even the Italians can be more chummy. Hampton. Let's just see our new float plane. Hooray for float planes. I was kind of hoping that India would fully rebel. That would actually take, I think, quite a chunk of money out of the British Empire. It certainly should do. Let's have a look at our aircraft types. We did have a previous fastest fighter. Our fighter is now from 34, so that is getting a little bit old in this day and age. So yeah, these guys are supposed to be 200 miles an hour maximum speed, or is that knots? I'd hope it's knots, actually. That would be nicer. So if we look at our own 1934 De Voitin, that's a little bit of a bomb load, which is nice. It's light range over 200 miles, seems to be good. We only have 20 in service compared to our older fighter. Oh, go on, let's see what we can get by requesting a new fighter. Priority is speed. Second priority is range, maneuverability, firepower. Now, these are all good things in a fighter. We Have a little look at the firepower. Everybody has 2, except for this one, which has 4. Interesting. Maneuverabilities, 10, 14. Tricky. I mean, I want to say range, but let's try firepower. See what we get. Into November. Japanese want something? Yeah, sure. Smells out. More stuff. No to all the airbase messages. Nothing particularly interesting there. The British are rebuilding a couple of their own ships. Which reminds me, one thing I definitely could do, if we have a look at these guys, we've got Retartable is 10 months away, so just over halfway through, so we could do its sister ship in the same style. Do that, that will cost 2,700, which is fine. Just take us slightly into negative, very slightly, which we will recover once those air bases are built. And yep, there go the air bases. Sell us something. Why? Okay, why not? And so here we are in the beginning of 1937. So let's just have a little look at how the last year has been. Here's the year. As you can see, the good year for money. The funds have really increased, helped with the advice around minimizing the aircraft, despite the fact that the expenses has remained, well, actually slightly going up. Great year for tax, 9 of them. Poor year for tensions. You can see here things have calmed down from the beginning of the year to how it is now. The budget, bearing in mind that we were in 35 at 350, here we are, and then the beginning of this year 390, and then here 449. Excellent. Some good progress on the big ships. I might next year just have a little check through my plan for the little ships, but an aircraft carrier joining the fleet, a near sister under construction, 3 great heavy cruisers under construction. Several of them, I think all of them actually, will be joining this year. 2 battleship rebuilds, 1 joining this year, a refit of the light cruisers, the final one joining my little raider force. So pretty pleased with that. Looking forward to 1937. Biggest task, I think, is probably stirring the tension pot a little bit. But, you know, sometimes you just don't get much opportunity, and that's certainly been true this year. So I hope you've enjoyed watching. I certainly enjoyed recording this. Stay safe and see you next time.